Hello everyone, Nicole here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you how I did this kind of layering of these squares in this card, and you can see that they're not actually layered on top of each other, they are inset with each other, and it's not too difficult to do. You just need to have some patience and some temporary adhesive tape to make it happen. So let's get started. All right, so while we're getting started here, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and if you're on YouTube, click on that little bell so that way you'll get notifications every time I have a new video and I go live. All right, so I have a whole bunch of scrap paper here, and I've just got a piece of like a vanilla color and this nice dark blue and then a couple of other colors. That way you can really see how the contrast works, and it'll be easier for you to kind of understand as we go. So I'm using the Fine Frames Squares from Altenew. So here you go. And there's 3 squares in this set, and we're going to use all 3 of them. And I don't really need this piece quite yet. So I'm going to start with my card base to lay out exactly what I want my pattern to look like. So whether I'm going to do it landscape or portrait, it doesn't really matter. But let's say I want my rectangles to kind of look like so. Actually, let's do it this way. So I'm going to do a smaller one up here, and then this guy is going to overlap. And so what you can see here is that there's some overlapping here and not so much here. So the first thing I need to do is cut these guys out. And I'm just going to use some Post-it tape to get them in place. And I want to make sure that I've got good spacing in between the two, and even good spacing around the edges. All right, so that looks pretty good. And I'll just adhere some tape on here. And these two I'll actually just tape together. All right, now this one I have to run through my larger die cut machine, so I'll be right back. All right, so I have my first one cut, and I'm going to save these little frames. I can use them for projects later. And let's go ahead and pull this all out. And I can even use these as practice templates if I don't want to go into my full color right away. It'll all get reused somehow. All right, so I'll just set these aside. And then I'll take my third die and get that overlapped exactly the way I want. All right, and then tape that in place. And as you can see, it's really not going to cut out a whole lot, but what it's going to do is it's going to create that complete outline of exactly what I want for my final look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out also through my larger machine, and then we'll move on to the smaller pieces. All right, so as you can see, this is what I ended up with from that last cut, and these 2 pieces I probably won't use again, but I'll just set those aside. So this is our finished piece here. And you can see you can just go ahead and add that to your card base. We're not going to be moving this one again, so you can definitely adhere this right onto the base right now. All right, so that's how that one will look all finished up and ready to go. All right, so now I need to start cutting the inside pieces. And I'm not actually going to be using the frames, I'm just going to be using the squares from them. So I've got my mini blossom here, and I'll set up some of my colors. So this is the first one, I'll run that through. There we go. And adding the metal shim on here really helps this to cut this little fine frame every time. You only have to send it through once. So there we go. I'm not going to use that, so that gets set into the scrap pile for later. And then this one is going to go in here. All right. So it kind of depends on which pieces you want to have. Now, if this one is going to stay in here, perfect. Then you don't have to worry about cutting that one anymore at all. So let's cut the next one. I'll do the large square here. Now, if you're leaving that other one as is, then this one is actually going to end up getting trimmed using a second die. So let's show you how that works. All right, so got that cut out. And again, I don't need the frame piece. It's actually okay that it's stuck in here. There we go. So I don't need this piece. I need this piece. And this is going to go up here. But you can see I don't want to have the overlap. So what am I going to do? I'm going to use some temporary adhesive. Just a teeny tiny bit to pop that in place exactly where I want it. All right, so, and you can see like it'll still shift around a little bit, which is good because we're going to want to pick this up in a minute. All right, so that's exactly where I want that to go. Now I'm going to take the square that fits in this space, the die that is, and I'm going to bump it right up against the edge here and get it like right back in place from where it originally cut out. This is what I need to cut. So I'm going to tape this down securely. Like so, and then I can pop that out together and you can see it's just going to cut that one little piece out. All right, there we go. Let's see, it should cut that out without any problem. Actually, it just shifted. There we go. All right. Okay, so that cut out, and again, I don't need this little scrap here. And now I have a piece with that L shape. So I can adhere that one in for sure. And see, that's just going to go right in there. All right. All right, so then for the last one, I need to cut the yellow, and that's going to be the small die cut. All right, run that through. All right, and again, I don't need that little piece, but that'll be great for another project later. And I've got my small one here. Again, some temporary adhesive to pop that in place. All right, and then I'm going to take this same die again and get it into position and adhere those two together with some tape, maybe even a large piece of tape. There we go. All right, so I can pop that out and die cut that as well. All right, and it's just going to have trimmed off that little teeny tiny bit on the end there. And then I've got my piece here. So now you can see how this all fits together. All right, and this one got a little wonky because as you saw, it shifted and I didn't take the time to readjust it, so you can see that I didn't get this aligned exactly right. If I had done it properly, it would have lined up on the edge just like the yellow one does here. All right, but if you're going to cover this with other elements, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. The majority of it will be in place for you. So yeah, you see I could have done a little bit better there. I could always cut another piece because I don't have this one adhered yet, but if I did have it adhered, that would be okay. I could grab a sentiment and cover up that little oops without any problem, right? All right, so that shows you how you can get this beautiful inlaid look with just a few extra cuts and a little bit of patience. I hope you enjoyed this technique using the new Fine Frames Square die set and that you incorporate it into a project soon. I'll be back with more tips and tricks with your favorite dies and stamp sets, but until next time, happy crafting.